So let me flip over here a second and show you what we're going to have you work on. So all of you that we put it on your computer, you should have a CAAP's MACRA seminar folder, usually in the upper right corner of your thing. And this quality tool is the only thing that you guys do not have a paper copy of because it is way too big to put on a paper copy. But I'm just going to show you what it does here. So we're going to start here on there's 3 tabs across the bottom. 2017 QPP all measures.
So if you have a computer, then you want to open the document number 3.
Thank you.
And it's an Excel document, so if you don't have Excel on your computer, then you can raise your hand and I can help you. If you have a Gmail account, I can help you because you can get to Excel through Google Sheets. So I can help you with that, but it'll take me a minute. So raise your hand. And you guys may want to move to this table so y'all can use that plug-in. It may reach. See if it'll reach. Anyway, sorry, distraction. So Jeannie's going to show you what's to come, but just make sure you get that part open. If anyone has a USB that wants to take this back to their office, raise your hand. I will load this onto your USB, and then you can take it back. Even if you're on one of our computers, go ahead and pretend you're doing this legitimately, and that way your brain can start thinking through some of these measures, and it'll make more sense when you open it up in your practice.
Right. Okay, so you're going to go to this 2017 QPP all measures list. This has 270 lines of data or more, so it's a big file, long file. And make sure that your scroll bar is all the way to the left to start with at the bottom, so that you're up in A1 at the top. What we have, just so you know what's here, this quality ID is the ID from PQRS program, the number of the measure. Like I had 130 up here is documented. That's the number that's assigned to the measure. The next one, the how come I'm not up there? There we go. Okay, thank you, sorry. This second column here is usually the number that might be on your EMR reports. They kind of use this other numbering system. And you see it has this version here. So that's what I was talking about. Remember, make sure that you have the right version. It has a little title that you can read, and then a more descriptive title that you can read. And then we're going to say the measure type is either going to be process or outcome, because you want to make sure you have one outcome, or high priority. If there's an X in the high priority column, it's a high priority measure. Okay, if there's no X, it's not a high priority measure, right? And then we've got an X for whether you can report it via claims, whether you can report it via EHR, and whether you can report it via registry. Now let's say I want to report by my EHR, so I only want to see, I don't want to see 270 measures, I only want to see the measures that are available in my EHR. Or I don't know what's available in your EHR, but that you can report via an EHR. So I can click this little arrow here, and this is true on every column. I can click the little arrow, and when I click it, I can say, first you want to unselect all by clicking that and make them all blank, and then you want to say, I only want to see the ones that have an X in that column. And when I say OK, we have limited the whole thing to show only ones that have an X in the EHR. So instead of seeing 270 rows of data, there's only about 65 rows of data that I can see now. You can still get the whole list back, just click everything in that arrow, right? It's a filter function. And then over to the right, because I know we have so many different specialties here, are all the 27 different specialty sets. So if you are what have we got here? Let's look for, okay, so if I am an ophthalmologist, we have some ophthalmologists, I think, and I want to report via EHR. I've already filtered on EHR. Now I'm going to filter on ophthalmology. And again, I have to uncheck everything and then check the X so that I only get the X's is the only thing that's going to show, because it's the only thing that has the little check mark there. And I say, OK. And now I'm only looking at ophthalmology specialty set reported through the EHR. All right, so I'm narrowing down my 270 to something more reasonable, and then you can come back and look at the descriptions and start to say, you know, I think that measure number 117 is not very applicable to my practice because I do glaucoma or something, and I don't do retinal eye exams on diabetic patients. So that's not really applicable. Documenting current medications, yeah, I do that. Let's make that one of mine, at least to start with. And I can do tobacco and et cetera. So you can kind of go down this list now that I've filtered it out and say which ones make the most sense for me. Kind of make a list, if you can, of 6 to 10 measures that you think might be applicable to your practice and make sense and be something you can do. And with the reporting approach in mind, and then when you've got that list, go over to the My Quality Score tab. In this tab, this is an example. You're going to type in the orange places. The orange places are places you're going to type in. The white are going to calculate for you. And the blue, you're going to raise your hand and we're going to come copy for you. So if I'm going to try to I've got 6 measures in my mind now. I've written down the numbers. The first number in the column, the quality ID number. And let's say I'm going to do 128, that's about BMI. And I'm going to do 130, that's about documenting current medications. And I'm going to do, I don't know, 131, about pain assessment, because that's applicable to my practice. I'm going to try and make them go in numerical order when you put them in. So lowest number to highest number, right? And you can see it brought in the thing, so you can make sure I have the right number, right? Now I can go to my reports, or I can make up numbers for my numerator and denominator for this measure. If you have your reports and you brought them with you and they came out of your EMR, you know what your numerator and denominator were for certain measures. You can type those in here, and it will create a rate. Or if you want to just guess, I think I can get to 80% on that measure. Put in 80 and 100, because we're really looking to get this number more than we care about what the individual numerator and denominator is. Then we are going to come and copy in for you all the benchmarks for that reporting approach for those measures. The full file is here in your second thing. So it's there, and you can use it yourself, but we thought it'd be easier if we came and copied it for you. If you're familiar and good with Excel, you can do it yourself. There's instructions right up here. And then once you have those measures, as you scroll to the right, it's going to show you over here where we get our colored, our orange color, where we're going to type into again. We want to actually put in that this particular performance rate, 20%, falls in this decile. After we've copied it in, you'll look for where does 20% fall for that measure. Let's say it's in decile 5. And then you're going to put in the first number in that decile block for that measure. It's not there, but it would be after we copied it. Let's say that's 15.8, and the last number goes here. So what's the range for that decile, which is, let's say it's 22.0 or something. And then the, oops, I got it backwards, 15 and 22. So then the system will calculate what exactly is my score because it's falling in that decile. Okay? Does that make sense? And you guys, so you start trying to kind of identify which measures you think, and then you can use this tool to see how you are doing on the actual benchmarks. And we will come around and help you. Yes?
I thought you said there was culinary specialty.
You thought I said?
There was a culinary specialty.
I might have been wrong about that. Do you not see it there? Then there's not. Sorry. I can't keep all 27 of them in my brain. However, I would look, I don't know what number it is. I'll come see if I can search. There are a bunch that are about sleep apnea, which might apply to you. I hope that makes a little bit of sense, and we'll come around and help people individually, okay? But start on that first 2017 QPP all measures to try to identify which measures make sense for you.